Hey guys, hope everybody is well. Today is a special Father's Day edition of the Miss Pebble channel, which welcome here if you're here for your first time. I'm Rebecca Pebble. Pebble is my middle name, and I like to have a channel where we talk about all things life, inspirational, motivational, psychological, and it's just a safe space for you to land in a harsh world, a world that can be harsh sometimes. So welcome and welcome back to my loyal subscribers and those of you that are just checking me out once more. So first of all, I want to say happy Father's Day. This Sunday is Father's Day in the US. I don't know about around the world if it's celebrated, but thank you to the dads that are involved in their children's lives. We appreciate you. It's so important. And so I just want to say kudos to the fathers. But this is a different spin. This is a little bit darker, talking about dads, because we're talking about the father wound, which, interestingly enough, I don't know. Okay, let me start by saying this. I'm not a psychologist. This is just stuff that I've either read or experienced or just intuitively know. And like all my messages, I'm just channeling whatever comes through me. I have this topic. I haven't pre-planned anything, so let's see what happens. So with the father wound, I think some of us have it. I think some people, they have great relationships with their dads. They were very involved, and I don't think they have this so much. And this can also be AKA daddy issues, which have gotten a bad rap, but I really think a lot of people struggle with this, not just females, but males as well. And there's also a mother wound, which should have talked about on Mother's Day, right? But I didn't even think about it. But this is one that I definitely want to touch on today, the father wound, because I think it's something I know I'm healing from, and maybe a lot of my listeners, listeners, audience is as well. So I have this little hair in my face. Okay, there we go. So the father wound, of course, this is something that is imparted. I don't know if imparted is the right word, but it's something that you get. I feel like when there's like neglect or abuse or just some kind of injury, right, to the soul, the spirit of a person. So I'm gonna put like, if your dad just wasn't present, oh my gosh, abuse in your childhood, like maybe you wanted him to be. It can be other things. Oops, it doesn't just have to be those two things, but it's just dad not being there, not seeing you the way you want to be seen, not loving you the way you want to be loved, not being present for you in the ways that he needed to be present, or however you as a child needed that love, to feel his love, to really receive the love. It just wasn't there for whatever reason. I know for me personally, my parents got divorced when I was like around 5 or 6. I don't even know the exact age. Just maybe I should just pick one. Just say 5. I don't know. I was in kindergarten, and my dad worked and works a lot. And he got us every other weekend. And so when I would go to his place, or he would pick us up, dad was usually working. So for me, neglect sounds terrible. And if you're watching, dad, I love you. This isn't a knock on my dad. I love my dad. It's just, I know I have this wound because unfortunately he wasn't available. And really part of that's not his fault because he was working a lot. And so there's a lot of forgiveness that's had to happen over the years for me to, like, it's okay. But of course, it's a process. So if you're at a part in healing this process where you haven't forgiven your father yet, or you still can't be like, I love you, Dad, it's okay. Just accept where you are in the process. So it's essentially, I feel like every child needs that maternal and paternal figure. There's like these voids within your soul almost. There's just like it's just fundamentally who you are as a human, and especially at a young age, you just really need those figures in your life to mold you, to inspire you in different ways, and to fill your cup with love. So when you don't get one of those figures or both of those figures, of course you've got, it's weird. It's like your soul has a wound on it that's exposed. So it gets triggered or activated, or the wounding, which maybe there's like a scab, a metaphorical scab, of course, like a healing over. But as soon as someone does something that picks at that scab, let's say, for example, maybe your dad wasn't around much or something and your partner is not available, it's going to make you feel some kind of way because, oh my gosh, you've got this really deep wound. And I read something somewhere saying if people could walk around where you could see like the bruises on their skin of every wound that they have and every trauma, everything they've been through, right, that's really scarred them in some way. It's like we're all walking around, we're accidentally touching people's bruises and we don't mean to, but if you could see them on their surface, could you imagine that? Just being able to see, like, hey, here's my father wound, here's my mother wound, here's my abandonment wound. And you'd kind of know why people act the way they do sometimes, because sometimes people can be funny, but there's really a deep-seated reason at the root, the core of all of it, and sometimes it's this. And so I think it's something that can make you almost feel like, if you have this, for me, sometimes I'd feel insignificant, I feel unworthy, I feel like I have to perform and prove myself a lot. I feel like I can't really take up space or be seen or really truly loved. There's a great line in a John Mayer song, Daughters is a great song by him about this. But there's also, I forget the name of the song, but there's a lyric where he says, there's a hole in her cup or her heart that my love should fill. I think it's a hole in the cup of her heart that my love should fill. Something like that, about basically she's got a wound, mother-father wound, we don't know, both maybe. And he's trying to love her, but her love cup, where where people fill you up with love, or you fill yourself up with love and you feel full and you feel good, there's a hole. It's like defective because she wasn't loved properly as a child. So that's what this is. It's like it creates a hole in your love cup. I'm gonna put this hole in your love cup. I should write more legibly. I realized, like, what's the point of me doing this? Anywho, so I guess I could, you could wax poetic, right, on the father wound. I say poetic like it's a beautiful thing. I mean, I guess it's kind of like beautifully tragic in a way. A lot of us have this. Daddy issues. You want attention sometimes because of this, like unnecessary attention. But I think it's good to admit, like, okay, I've got this. Everyone's got something or some things, right? We've all got wounds and traumas and things we're trying to heal, hopefully, consciously or unconsciously. So I guess that begs the question, like, okay, no, what do we do? What do we do with this hole in our little love cup, that's just like leaking out? I think the answer is forgiveness. I think it's really important once you get to a point where you realize, like, your dad was either doing the best that he could at the time, at his level of consciousness, with his level of experience, with his family traumas and dramas, and everyone's dealing with stuff. So sometimes people just can't help it. That's all they know, and that's the best they can do. Whatever is going to get you to this space of forgiveness, I think that's really key. And to forgive yourself too, for if you feel defective or broken or something. If you're not, you're whole, you're fine. We're all dealing with wounds. And just say, hey, these are the cards I've been dealt. These are the cards I've been dealt, and that's okay. Now I'm gonna learn how to play my hand the best that I can. So I think it comes to forgiveness, and I think it comes to self-love, really loving yourself and saying, hey, I can feel this. And if you're spiritual, religious, whatever, you can say, my creator is going to fill this father wound, is going to fill, if you need to gain strength from something outside of you to get to this place, and also have this in addition to, it can be supplemental too. I love myself. I see and do all the things you wanted your dad to do. See yourself. Let yourself take up space. Let yourself do all the things, right? Treat yourself with kindness. Maybe there was abuse, so really care for yourself and tend to yourself. It's so important to give yourself the things that somebody who's a human who couldn't do it for you, you have to do it for yourself now. Now that we're adults, it's like, it's kind of the way the cookie crumbles, which you're like, I wish I could get it from the source where I want to get it, but sometimes you can't, and that's okay. Maybe they passed away. Maybe they're in prison. Maybe you don't talk. Your relationship is ruptured. You have to give yourself forgiveness and love. And I think you have to patch up that hole in that cup so that it doesn't drain out. So when you do move through the world, you are a full, and a patched up vessel that's not going to leak on others, because like they say, hurt people and healed people heal people. Is so true. Like when I'm hurting, sometimes I'm just like bleeding on people and I don't even mean to. My goodness, but it's like a wounded animal with their arm in a trap, right? They're gonna bite at somebody if they come at them because they're in pain. It's not because they want to bite you. So let's heal so we can heal others, right? But this is what I'm in process of working on. This is a big one. I love my dad. So again, if you're watching, Dad, I love you. It's just how it is. But I don't think he watches my YouTube channel, which is fine. He's a busy man. So yeah, I think that's everything. I would like to hear your thoughts. Of course, this might be a weird topic to discuss on YouTube, but I mean, it's not a weird topic to discuss on YouTube. I should say in the chat, if you feel uncomfortable discussing your personal stuff, I totally understand. But if you're someone that would like to share, go for it. We can talk about it. But I hope everyone has a great week. Hopefully this helps you to know if you have something, if you struggle with this, you're not alone. Even people you see moving through the world successful, I'm sure a lot of them have either overcome this or are overcoming or have this. So you're in great company. And we'll see what the next Miss Pepple channel video entails. I have no idea. These just like come to me. So if you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear them. I am a life coach. I do offer virtual one-on-one coaching sessions. So please send me an email, RebeccaPebble@yahoo.com, if you'd like to hear more. I do offer free 15-minute consultations. If you're not sure, you want to meet with me for 15 minutes, just talk, tell me what you're hoping to accomplish and work on, and we can go from there. As a life coach, I like to help you start in your present and work towards your future, whereas therapy is more focused on your past. Just some people aren't quite sure the difference, so it's more future goal oriented. So if that's you and you enjoy who I am and what I do, please reach out to me. Also, I'm an actress, so if for some reason you need a spokesperson or an actress or something, RebeccaPebble@yahoo.com as well. So trying to keep myself busy like my dad. All right, I love you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.